Hello, everyone. And today I got to see the movie The Shadows. I was actually really enough, I was quite anticipating this movie. I thought the trailers looked really good. They were really interesting. Now, it really sold me, at least in my opinion, of the trailers themselves. So yeah, I was going to this really excited, although I wouldn't say my expectations were like so high because I know at the very least animal, like a human with this type of survival against nature, an animal to prevailing, won't be anything breaking new, or it won't be like the Godfather of like these type of movies really. So I didn't expect it to be the greatest thing ever, but at least I was excited for what it was, or at least what it was offering to me. And essentially in this movie, you Blake Lively, and she is going to this place in a part of Mexico, this beach that her mom went to when she was pregnant with her, and she goes there to essentially find some peace, essentially, and she's kind of like traveled off her path of like her wanting to be a doctor at least, and she's taking some rest there, and she's like she's trying to catch some waves and have some fun because she's clearly by the looks of it she really loves surfing, and essentially during that she gets viciously hurt by the shark, and she's pretty much just bleeding out as she's trying to find her way on, just to survive, or at least get to the shore alive, at least for her. And there's like during this movie, there's like once she's like at least I'd say about 150 yards, 200 yards away from the shore, even though it's in the shallows. It's not that deep, at least. There you go to tell the shallows. Yeah. Now, this movie's not really getting like too much praise, but it's getting fairly good reviews. And I'm gonna kick it up a notch because I was really blown away by this movie. I was completely engaged the whole time. I thought the establishment of Blake Lively's character was really great. I loved her in this movie. I thought her performance through very few and minimal dialogue, and always through the facial expressions and grunts and the sounds and all that. With her just, tying a knot on her because, she's bleeding out, or at least the ones with, like, really hard breathing because she's really scared or anything like that. She really sold me in this movie. I thought she was fantastic. The movie itself just kept, for me, I loved how it felt like a very fun, like in the beginning, it felt very fun, very kind of upbeat, it felt kind of like that. It's like, oh, okay, wouldn't this be fun? Even though we know, essentially, she doesn't know, but we know it's not really like that at all. So yeah, and it kind of builds on the note of like how fun. It kind of like the first 20 minutes, I would say, doesn't feel as thrilling as the rest of it really is. But I would say it's like the first 30 minutes do feel a bit lighter, but I like that. It feels like it feels a bit more gradual. It doesn't really put you in the immediate dark, tense nature as you think it would be. But essentially, the movie itself feels gradual, feels smart. It feels like the tone changes of how the character feels within it. People, that's one of the big complaints about I hear. People say, oh, the beginning feels a bit too fun or lighthearted in comparison to the rest of the film. Well, yeah, that's how you're going to feel going to a beach. And if something goes wrong, you want it to be like that. It starts to seem like that. But due to the moments, or at least the unfortunate events, the habits of Blake Lively's character, you really understand why that happens, essentially. And I could really feel for her character, and seriously, I loved her character. This movie to me also has a ton of replayability. I love this movie so many times, at least in my opinion, because I thought the intensity was great, the suspense and the build-up was really clever and really immaculate. And I felt this raw, gritty, no bears hold, really falling out. Okay, not really falling out, but it really felt like it was pushing that PG-13 rating that it had. Even though it's like, I don't know, I forgot if this movie's PG-13 or not. At least depending for where you are. Because, oh well. What else do I love? I loved, there's one moment where it was like, she's like on the surfboard, and you see this kind of established shot, and she's like right here in the water. It's like if you're viewing her from the board underneath the water, it's like it gets close. You see her, and it's like, oh, it's just a dog. It's like it's essentially it's a dolphin, and it jumps right over her, and that scared the shit out of me. And I'm like, oh god, you bastard film. So yeah, there's a few jump scares here and there, but I thought, you know what, I like that. I kind of do like the thrill and the fun, exciting, unpredictable nature of the film. Also, there's the key word there, unpredictable. One of my big fears for me going into this film was, okay, we know kind of maybe how it will go down essentially, and for what I thought was going to happen in this film, kind of does happen, but you constantly see that the constant feeling of a thrilling dare and a shock that any moment she could go and look killed, and she could be killed. It could be hypothermia because it could get so cold because she just got in the water, or it's blood loss because she's really bleeding badly, or it could be just a shock who kills her. So yeah, my biggest fear of this movie, for me at least, was how predictable it would have been, or how it was in the long run. And without spoiling too much, I'm partially right about that, but there's a constant sense of this character is in constant peril. She's in constant danger, and it kept me so much on my toes. That was really, really, really tense throughout the whole experience. And I thought it was like a real thrill ride of a movie that I was so excited to see, and just, for me at least, it was really, really terrifying at least. And the CG on the shark and the dolphins that you get to see is actually really great, and I loved how it was really, really well done. Also, there's a moment in this when she has to go into water, and by the way, she's also staying on this like bedrock of a coral reef part in it that's kind of like at least like a few feet off the water level. And, she's, like, on there for at least a good day and a half, I think, at least. Like, a good day. And you just kind of get the feeling of, oh, no, there's so much things that could go wrong. Like I said before, hypothermia, blood loss. She's probably starving. And at the point, like, in the end, one thing I noticed, which I thought was a great little hint, is that you can see her lips. And they're completely dry. And it really shows that saltwater feeling of the ocean and how long how long has she eaten or drank. For me, that's a good little tidbit of how much I felt, how dreaded, how longed, and how dreaded and anticipated I must have really felt for her at least. And I thought it was completely freaking good. A lot of people are saying it's not what you think it is, but I think for me, the way the film is made for a certain target audience, of kind of like today's modern type of audience, where we appreciate the beauty within the realism and the grittiness, kind of like with The Revenant. Really enough, like we appreciate the raw, realistic lighting and feeling to it, and we can find the beauty within the madness or the ugliness of it. And I think it's a really great. It's like there's an appreciation for the filmmaker here, where it feels like he made film for people who love film within this decade, but it doesn't feel like it's dated by it. It feels like this is like how people this decade view these certain type of movies, of this pure fun action blockbuster. That was my dad just sneezing. I do apologize for that. Well, he should, but oh well. You probably never will, because I'll never them on here. But yeah, I love this movie. I was so thrilled and so constantly engaged by it. And yeah, comparing it to Jaws is like comparing, it's really, really hard to do, at least. It's like, Jaws is like a blockbuster, summertime thrill movie classic, and this is nowhere near as good as Jaws. Like, what do you really expect to fall out from Jaws of the shark movie genre, really? And for the record, any other shark movie, too, for the record, is probably crap. For me, this, but aside from that, but for me, this really felt like a mix of the real, like the setting of Jaws, the realism of the Revenant, and the constant feeling of dread and anxiety of The Grey mixed together, which is very funny because I love all those three movies a lot. The Grey, The Revenant, and Jaws, of course. But yeah, as a whole, and also in my opinion, like I said before in a couple of my reviews before, is that one of the things I constantly strive for when I see a movie is a constant sense of thrill, excitement, and replayability. Replayability for me is an enormous factor. It always is. And I feel like I really want to get just right back into the theater and see it again because it's a constant thrill and the way I felt for Blake Lively's character. Also, it's a movie with Blake Lively in a swimsuit. Enough said. I'm going to see it. Like, seriously, she is gorgeous and she is just beautiful, and I loved her performance in this movie. So yeah, that's my review for the movie The Shallows. Apparently, this movie's a part of Disney. No, I'm just kidding. It's not. But like, kind of early on, they established that her mother died of the always fatal off-camera disease. So I'm like, oh, what do you know? A parent is gone. Yeah, that's very Disney of you. But that for me is a very, very small critique. My problems with this film, what do I have? Like I said before, the thing I kind of dreaded going into this movie was the predictability. And it kind of is, but you constantly are so sucked in because of that. And, I thought, okay, to get super critical here, like, I mean, I'm really nitpicking. I will say, at times it feels like it kind of is a bit dragging down, but I think that's kind of counterbalanced with all the excitement, really. And it doesn't feel spoon-fed to you. It doesn't feel like, oh, slow down, we'll slow down for you. It feels kind of natural, really. So, yeah, I personally have very little complaints about this movie, and all the criticisms I'm hearing about this movie, in my opinion, are BS. They're bullcrap. In my opinion, if you just want a raw, meat and potatoes type of fun blockbuster action movie, and essentially 2016's Jaws, in my opinion, okay, like I said before, comparing it to Jaws is a pretty big ordeal, but whatever. But in the end, goddamn, I really loved The Shallows, and I'm gonna see you. And yeah, thank you very much for, and yeah, oh shit, my rating, I almost forgot about my rating. Honestly, I'm going to give it 95%. I love this movie. It's one of my favorites of the year, shockingly. I know I will say I can at times be a bit too soft on a movie, or a bit too harsh, even though there's always going to be some movies I will review where I will feel split, like a movie like Demolition that I saw, which I thought was a very split movie. A lot good, a lot bad. But yeah, aside from that, I thought this was, in my opinion, a really great, solid, fun, thriller action movie that I really thought was an excellent time at the theaters. And in my opinion, I give it a 95%. I really, really was surprised, at least in my opinion, of how much I loved watching this movie. And that's my opinion of the movie as a whole, everyone. And yeah, I'll see you in the future for my review of Finding Dory tomorrow, which I'm seeing it tomorrow, and hopefully then I'm going to be giving you my review of that movie. So yeah, until then, everyone, thank you very much for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow with my review of Finding Dory. Till then, thank you very much for everyone, and I'll see you guys in the future. Till then, goodbye.